Alright, my friends, hello and welcome back to Downstage Gaming. I'm your host, Josh, and this is part 27 of our Let's Play of Head as Code. And let's think about the situation again. When we last left off, let's see, we had gone with Jasmine into the security room. We'd kind of gone back to most of the beginning of things. And we had some weird times in the security room there, mainly at the end. We were trapped in a spot while we gave Jasmine a hammer. It's a long story. Anyways, Jasmine, secretly Hannah, basically destroyed all of the screens in there that probably revealed something interesting that she didn't want us to see, and we definitely know that she was lying to us. Then we saw security footage of a weird thing of H, I believe, or Android Hannah, losing her head when she's with Ray. I don't believe that happened during this timeline. Anyways, that's the situation. We're probably freaking out about it. First of all, I found a note that spoke of a person that didn't belong. Was it E? Was it A? All of us had no link. Was it the twins? Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, this could be about anybody, really, at this point. But we've also pretty much decided that that's an anagram at this point, so it probably isn't even really about that. I don't know. If a twin could take off her collar, was it her? Right, we also saw the other twin after the original twin's beheading, like, leave the space and didn't have a collar. Or was Ray the person that didn't belong? His reaction seemed genuine. There was legitimate fear in his eyes when he was scared shitless earlier. No, it had to be a twin then. Maybe? I kept those thoughts to myself. It was difficult to think about because the twins were young. They didn't have the life experience to set up this entire place or anything. I don't know. Never underestimate a young person. The twins couldn't do this. One of them died, too. And why did I have this uneasy feeling that told me I needed to watch my back? Probably because the person you're with is a liar. So many facts didn't add up. The fact one of the twins didn't have her collar during the video didn't add up. The fact Ray took the head was weird. Yeah, that is weird. That is weird. I thought that was weird even in the bit when he brought the head with him. Like, why would he do that? Maybe it's because he sees that it's like an android? I don't know. The fact the twin just ran out and died. She knew the risks, so why? The simplest idea would be that the twin who removed her collar found a way to do so without dying. If that was the case, then she was gone and wouldn't be of any help. I had to stay calm. Station's coming. Come on. Faster. Jasmine was muttering, encouraging words to the train to go faster to the station. You can do it, big boy. I believe in your ability to just zoom on through. I couldn't help but smirk at that futile endeavor. I regained my seriousness when we arrived at the station. I was now in emergency mode. Activate Simon emergency mode. The both of us left the train in a hurry. Quickly, we had to get some info. From what the situation was on the platform, the door was open. The twins had come back then. Quick, into the lobby. No time to examine this place. We need to find someone, and quickly. I wordlessly agreed while engulfing myself into the lobby. After a short travel up the stairs and through a hallway, I emerged into a lounge. On the other side of the room was a bar. I didn't have time to think about what this place was before A spoke to me. Is everything alright? I saw him behind the bar, apparently preparing some drinks for the others. E was seated on a stool, waiting for hers, and next to her were the twins. Yep. Okay. So, my theory pretty much already proven then. This did not happen with these twins, and perhaps didn't happen in this timeline? Again, there's a small question in my head of a possibility that it's not different timelines so much as it is this experiment is being played over and over again, and you're seeing all the different variations of the different choices, right? I think that's a possibility as well, and it's always being done with these clones of the originals, of the pods that we found. Time seemed to stand still while I opened my eyes wider. I could see them clear as day. The twins were alive. Both of the twins were alive. My eyes darted to their necks. Were their collars there? I needed to check for the collars. Both of them had their collars on. What? Jasmine joined me momentarily. When she noticed my state, she elbowed me in the side. Contrary to me, she wasn't nearly as horrified by the discovery that two people were still alive and trapped here. Keep it together, Simon. Please excuse him. He's never seen a bar in his life, so this is really surprising to him. It's... oh. Bar? I cleared my throat and finally came back to reality. The twins turned around by that point, so I had to put on my normal face, even if I thought I wasn't too convincing. Yes, that's correct. Bars are things I've never seen before, so I was really surprised at how, shiny the countertop was. I see. Okay. Unrelated to that, where's Ray? The big man wasn't there yet. Big man. We don't know. In fact, the twins came back just a few moments ago. Did something happen? Have you reason to search for him? So I wonder if Ray and Marco are doing their same thing that they did during our whole bit with the twins timeline, where like they just keep going forward over and over without returning to the lounge for some reason. Have you reason to search for him? The less we see of him, the better, I think. I wouldn't go that far. The two of them could speak. As they did, I realized I felt sick, just a little. I couldn't believe my eyes. Either what I saw earlier was false, or this was false. I couldn't trust my eyes. I needed to calm down. No, nothing happened. Everything is all fine. I decided to finally play it cool. Just keep it cool, Simon. Do you desire a drink? You certainly seem like you need one. Take a seat, I'll make some refreshments from what we've got here. Thanks for the offer, but I'm not really thirsty. That was a lie. I did feel awfully thirsty. However, I lied through my teeth to get some time alone. Even if he was genuine in his offer, I had no time for this. I just need a bit of a walk, I think. So soon after coming back? What can I say? My body's starting to get old. Doesn't that mean you'd want to sit down instead? No, have to keep it in shape. Laughed extremely unnaturally. The twins stopped carrying and went back to their drinks. I hope they weren't alcoholic or anything. You have time to worry about this, but you don't have time to worry about... Okay. What was that old man thinking? With a wave towards the others, I left them alone. I walked back down the stairs. What was I gonna do now? I debated on the proper course of action. The choice came down to sharing information or not, because I couldn't make sense of it. I could kind of trust Jasmine, even if she pulled off that weird thing with the screens. That event still lingered in my mind. I could also collect more evidence. Currently, I thought the twins and Ray were all extremely suspicious. What about the others, though? Could I really share info like that without any lead? With this walk, I could also explore a station and gather more info. This was a difficult choice. I'm interested to see what happens when we share this information. So let's do it. I couldn't resist the pull of fate. Sharing the video was in my best interest, somehow. I didn't know why, but I wanted to do it before anything else. The part of me that didn't like that idea, remember how it showed Ray and the twins. It would cause some strife, especially if I'd share it with them, so I opted not to. However, someone who wouldn't do something stupid until we had proof would be a better confidant. Before I shared it, I wanted to clear up something that had been nagging me about the video. First of all, the twins should have never met with Ray. Well, not since the very beginning. The only instance of this being possible was after we left. If Ray and Marco split up, then Ray came back alone, met with the twins on the way, and one of them grouped with him, then it would be fine. But I thought the twins didn't really like him. I didn't think they would ever team up with him willingly. There was also another thing. The fast forward had taken quite a while to even get to the point where I saw the collarless twin. Oh, that's interesting. So that wasn't like an immediate moment. Possibly hours had passed. Okay, that does reframe quite a lot of my confusion last time. Because last time I was saying that I really think that this is that timeline where Simon, or that time Ray came back with H's head decapitated, and then everything goes crazy, because Jasmine goes crazy. But my problem with that was that it didn't make sense because the other twin was there at the time, and it didn't make sense that they would then leave without a collar. If I'm remembering that timeline correctly, I also think G dies. Doesn't Ray accidentally shoot her or something? I might be misremembering that. I know he ends up accidentally shooting Jasmine. Or me? Man, my memory's not great with this bit. I don't know, maybe I'll go back and look at it later. We hadn't been here long enough for this. There was yet a third thing that didn't work, but I had to check the video again to be sure. I probably have enough time. Unfortunately, I'm on the wrong side of the station to go there. I clench my teeth. Maybe I could sneak through the hallway around the lounge, if I was careful enough that no one would see me through the two doorways. I could also take the train to another station, go up, cross the other side, come down, and take the train back to make it to the security room. The latter was a bigger waste of time, and judging by my current situation, I didn't want to waste too much of it. I really wanted to see what the twins had found in their station, but... heck. I'd have to leave that for later. Making up my mind, I decided to crawl back up the stairs. Very carefully, I walked around the corner, then I waited until I no longer heard any noise from within the lounge before I ventured further. I passed the first doorway, successful in sneaking by. Successful sneaking mission. The second doorway went much of the same, but as I went through and came down the staircase... There was one of the twins in the lobby. Beyond her was the station, and I could see a train there. She watched me, surprised to see me. I could either stop here to talk to her directly and inquire on what was in her station, or I could catch the train. If I did the latter, I would save on time, but the former would let me know... decisions. Oh, interesting. It's gonna be real suspicious if we just run out, right? Let's talk. I made up my mind and spoke to her first. The train could drive off. I'd wait for it again later. So, is this G or H? It's G. You still haven't managed to differentiate us? I mean, haven't you noticed the obvious physical difference between the two of us? You're both the same. It's not my fault. Literally wearing the same outfit. It's the eyes, you big Oh, no. Have I really not noticed this? Is there an actual thing? Just look at the eyes. I've been averting my gaze every time I spoke to them, either out of fear of being branded something unsavory for addressing younger girls, or out of some other indescribable uncertainty. But this time, it was because of the video. So, well, now I'm gonna have to pay attention to that. I noticed that their pupils kind of have a weird thing before. Are they different colored, or is there a slightly different curve? I'm gonna pay attention to that next time. You wanted to talk to me about something, didn't you? Yeah, what did you find in your room? It was a room about stars or something? We had some constellations to match up there, and there was a puzzle about astrology symbols, too? Or was it astronomy? One of them. I see. And did you find anything out of the ordinary? We found a bunch of maps for the entire place here, but nothing special otherwise. And did you meet with Ray yet? Ray again? Why are you so fixated on him? No reason, really. Just think he's a handsome man. Just making small talk. Your idea of small talk is weird as hell. Anyway, no, I haven't met up with him yet, or anybody else. We just came back here, and you guys arrived shortly after. Okay, alright. That's all I wanted to know. And I saluted her before leaving, like a real weirdo. I looked over my shoulder. The girl wasn't there anymore. Maybe she never existed. She went back up the stairs. Whew, she wouldn't follow me. Although she probably is going to tell people that we're taking this train now, but I guess that doesn't matter. Wait for the train was a little long, but I eventually boarded it. I dropped into a seat and closed my eyes, waiting for it to go. Back to supers. Back in the security room, I took the spot in the chair, apprehensively looking at the console. I'm also trying to remember if the screens were like this, in this broken state when we came here with A that one time. I don't remember. Alright. Apprehensively looking towards the console. Nothing had been tampered with. The video file was still open and paused where we put it before. If anyone else had come in here, they cover their tracks very well. I doubted any of them could handle that, so most likely nobody came by. I bet A could. The secret was still safe. I played the video again from the start. What I wanted to check wasn't really at any point in particular, so I paused the feed to avoid having any movement distract me as I observed it. I specifically looked at the corner of the video. The feed was in the scanner room, but I could see a bit of the room it was attached to. I narrowed my eyes a little, then I realized what I first thought. I scrambled on the seat, left the room, and looked around the hallway. I kept my eyes low and almost bumped into the corner on the way in. Soon, I was in the scanner room for this station. There was no mistaking it. The floor outside of this room was exactly like the floor in the feed. Oh, but I don't remember enough about that timeline to know for sure if this is the place that they ended up going to. Again, I would need to check that. All the hallways had a different kind of flooring, so this was definitely here. I could tell because the floors in the leisure and bedroom stations were different. How did they come here? No one but Jasmine and I ever came into this room. Not only did the time not match up, but now it's physically impossible they did it. G, H, and Ray, what is your involvement in all this? My eyes opened wide in shock at the realization. Were they behind this? That obviously doesn't make any sense. Not one, but 3 people? I need to tell someone. First, I need to tell Jasmine, and then maybe someone else too. But who? I went back to the main room and closed the file entirely this time. Well, I feel... I was hoping we would come back here and get, like, on a better track, but instead it feels like we've gone way off the rails here. There was no risking someone else finding this. After that, I left the room. I took the train back to the lounge, which was a very uneventful ride. On the way, I decided the only person I could share it with was you boy, Simon. You're way off on who you think you can trust here. Marco wasn't there, and he might stick by Ray. The twins were already suspicious enough, and E wouldn't be much help. I entered the lounge again. Looking around, I noticed something was a little different. The twins had gone to another station. That's made it easy for me. I wouldn't have to worry about leaking the secret anymore. The twins moved out. They found some maps in their room, so according to them, they're going to, She flicked through the papers while they observed us in silence. E was there too, but she was silent and tranquil, drinking some juice on one of the couches. Ah, the pool. The room we explored together was marked as security. Remember that live feed of a church? That's a few stations further down the line. According to the maps, we've got around 14 stations total. There's the lounge, and on that side, the one we explored with the security room, there are 6 stations. Security, science laboratory, infirmary, fitness center, church, and theater. Okay, so we've been to all of these at this point. At least once. We could even go watch movies if we wanted to here. She cracked a joke, but I didn't laugh. In retrospect, perhaps that was a little mean of me. At least a pity laugh would give some. The poor girl was almost visibly crushed by the suspicions she had to hold. After all, out of every girl here, she may as well have been alone then. The twins were suspicious, and E's presence was minimal at best. Yeah, there's nothing suspicious about Jasmine, so that's the good news. On the other side, we have the pantry, the library, the bedroom, the stars, whatever that is, the pool, the recreation room, and the reactor, which sounds really dangerous. Okay, so with this, we've never been to the pantry, and we've never been to the stars, as far as I know. But every other room we've been to then. I also have things to show. It's good and all to know what is everywhere, but I need to share some info with the both of you. I called the old man over by the same occasion. Has your walk been fruitful, then? You've been investigating something, haven't you? Very perceptive. It seemed like this old man knew just from looking at me. Was I this transparent? Or is this one deviously clever old man? If Marco was here, he'd say something along the lines of, "You're not a ghost yet, though." Perhaps I've been pale as ever since I made my discovery. Unfortunately, we have to go to the security room. I don't think I can explain very well. That means we need to split up when we get there. It's that video, isn't it? We found a weird video. I'll explain first, then we can go see it and check it directly. Oh, if you swear it is the truth and can act as a witness for what each other is saying, I doubt we need to go see it on top of that. No, there's something additional to what Jasmine saw. But sure, go ahead and explain. My friend spoke to A about it while the old man stroked his chin in thought. My details would have to wait since I believed I needed to show the floor, too. And that's what we found. Since the twins were both here earlier, both with their collars, that's strange, isn't it? Yes, I agree. I would like to see the additional information for myself, too. Let us leave E here. She is safe, and she'll be waiting for us. I hadn't thought about E's situation. But she can't stay here alone, right? Correct. Alas, all three of us should go to see this additional information, yet only 2 may. Were they going to have another rock, paper, scissors battle? As important as it was, I needed to circumvent it in some way. We couldn't afford to waste time for another 100 years fight. I'll go with A first. Jasmine, you can talk with E, correct? Stay here and tell her about it too. I doubt she'll talk readily. She looks like she can handle a secret. Gotcha. Okay. Be sure to share the info with me too, though. Let us make haste. I didn't need to be told twice. We both left the area and made our way back to the security room. Also makes me wonder, because I'm pretty sure at the time we went there initially with A to the security room in that very first timeline, I'm pretty sure A didn't share any of this kind of information with us in terms of, like, finding any videos. I mean, it's totally possible that you just didn't find this one, but it seems a little suspicious. We watched the feed, and I explained everything to the old man. Yes, that's quite odd. I can't help but wonder exactly if this video is real. I narrowed my eyes a little. What did he mean by not real? You think the video itself is a fabrication? But the people in it are those who are with us. Do you think they died for real, then? We can't exactly see very well. This angle isn't good. The head could easily be a mannequin, for instance. His expression darkened a little. However, this also means that Ray and one of the twins are in cahoot for some reason or another. To what ends? I honestly cannot tell. This is all too suspicious, no matter how you look at it. Perhaps they have secrets to hide. But then the questions are, which twin is it? Does it matter? And most importantly, is Smiley two of us? Ah, I see. You're suggesting that if a mannequin was used, then the twin without a collar isn't a different twin, but the same one. Precisely. It would be difficult. We are off on some wild... I don't know about any of this. It would be difficult to tell which twin is involved in the mastermind business, though. Is it H? She seems hot-headed. Is it G? She's a little shy. Contradictory. I agreed with that. I couldn't differentiate them well either until they spoke. They had different personalities, but that was pretty much it, I thought. Oh, right, for the additional information, take a look at the corner of this video. I wound it back to when there wouldn't be anything in the way. If you noticed on the way in, the flooring in the hallways here matches this one perfectly, and other stations all have a different look. Unless you tell me this floor is also in the pantry, I'm going to assume that. No, you might be right. I didn't notice that. How could I not notice? That's very peculiar. However, I'd say it only confirms our suspicions. My theory is that the suspicious duo has been here before already. Before the game started, they filmed themselves acting out this outcome. Why would they do that, though? Then they waited a while and set up the tape, checked it, then left it without turning off the camera. That's why it caught one of the twins without their collar. Which means Smiley's 2 people. Alas, we can't make a move. I was pumped about the discovery, but when he finished talking, I deflated. Why not? We finally figured out who it was. He sighed, apparently having realized something I hadn't yet. We don't have enough evidence. If we confronted them in the open, we would be falling right into their trap, too. The best we could do is keep exploring for now and corner them later. Okay, fine. But we should keep an eye on them, no? Unfortunately, the twins have left for the pool. At the moment, I know that Ray and M have gone up to the science lab, which is 1 station further up from here. The one after that is the infirmary. I would like to explore it, so it would be open just in case something bad happened in our confrontation. I'll stay with Jasmine at the lounge then, so if the twins come back, we can split them up and keep an eye on them. Not a bad idea. Let us away. The both of us left now that our plan of action was decided. Before leaving, I remembered to close the video. Once again, we rode the train in silence. So that's what we figured out. We met with Jasmine again, and I explained everything to her. Theories, but nothing entirely concrete yet. That's why we'll stay here. If the twins come back, it's paramount we grab them and question them. Yeah, but we have to be careful. Is that a good idea? I don't know. What if they figure out we're getting too close to the truth? I'm like kind of bothered by the fact that they're like, oh, just so clearly wrong. But I guess I can't blame them. Like the idea that I have of what this is like pretty clearly kind of crazy, but for them, right? Like the idea that either this game has been happening multiple times over and over again with different versions of themselves, or somehow the idea that a video from another timeline world, parallel world, has come here. I mean, either of those are pretty crazy. But it's just, their distrust. I'm not a fan. If it comes to it, we can try and leverage that. I trust in the fact that the twins care for each other. If it comes to it, we can try and leverage that. Really just put danger to one of them, let the other one squirm. I don't know why the culprit would put their sister into this horrible game, but that's so mean, though. Do we have a choice? We're stuck here, aren't we? Isn't that mean, too? Jasmine became silent as she contemplated my words. In the meantime, A finished communicating with E and joined us both again. It is time for us to leave for the infirmary. Should Ray come back here before the twins do, please be ready to conceal what you truly know about this sordid affair. Sure. A and E vanished off in the room. Yeah, I'm starting to feel like telling people about this whole thing was actually a real bad idea. I was left alone with Jasmine, which wasn't a bad spot to be in. Wink. I hope they don't take too long. I'm not completely patient right now. Me neither. To pass the time, I decided that perhaps we should have a just epic rock, paper, scissors battle, but also should probably share the paper with Jasmine. I still didn't know if I could have trusted her. Something was making me increasingly paranoid. We had a clear goal this time, yes, that was true. However, Jasmine's behavior still weighed on my mind. I had chosen not to tell A, as that might have been the trigger to send him on the warpath. The paper spoke of a person who didn't belong. Was it Jasmine? Was it one of the twins? Was it Ray? I mean, based on the things that we know right now, we are going to assume that this is actually trying to point to someone. The two that would make the most sense, right? Well, yeah. The two that would make the most sense right now would be Hannah for being an android, or Jasmine for being secretly Hannah. I had to make this choice. Did I share the information with my childhood friend or not? Would it be helpful, or would it create further unnecessary suspicions? I mean, we're making a lot of choices here. Oh, man. I mean, we've chosen to be pretty honest up until this point. I guess let's just keep that going for now. Listen, I almost forgot. I found a piece of paper earlier. I can show you, but you have to promise not to panic when you read what's on it, okay? I decided to admit the fact I actually chose not to share it with anyone, including her, because I hadn't known who to trust. Would have only fanned the flames of doubt in her head. Okay, I promise. Maybe she'll actually help us decode the anagram. That could be helpful. I sincerely doubted she would panic, but I had wanted her guarantee anyway. Now that I had it, I reached in my pocket and took out the piece of paper. I also pulled out the big coin from the bedroom we explored. That's right, I still had that. Realizing that fact made me wonder if it would have an additional purpose, since I could take it out of the room. I stuffed it back in, since that piece was useless for now. I'm waiting for the big climax of this story, when that big coin saves the day. Just a big coin from the bedroom, nothing to worry about. Don't question me about my big coin, please. Anyway, here's that piece of paper. I unfolded it and showed it to her. After she read it, her expression hardened a little. I could tell she wasn't sure what it meant, just like me. I wonder if all these things weren't just planted here to make us doubt each other. Can you actually say there is someone who doesn't belong? For instance, what would be the criteria to... I stumbled forward out of my seat, clutching my head and interrupting Jasmine in her sentence. It took her a bit to realize something was happening to me, but by that point, I wasn't even there anymore. Are you okay? Her voice faded, and I was elsewhere. Darkness. No, a room. It was a reactor. I was in a reactor room. The door of the reactor opened, and behind it was a pile of molten something. A wall was rising in the ceiling at the back, too. Even though I was looking at the reactor, what the wall had been hiding slowly came to my view, too. Behind the wall was 8 vats. 8 of them were lined up, containing all of us. Jasmine, the twins, Ray, A, E, Marco, and me. We were all inside of those pods. We were floating, floating, floating. I screamed. I screamed myself awake in the lounge next to Jasmine. She was shaking me to bring me back to reality. It had worked, but I couldn't deny what I'd seen. What was that? I silently asked myself, bewildered and uncertain. Simon, are you alright? Ugh, my head. It's splitting in half. It feels like my head is being smashed, and you didn't use the nickname. I hissed the words through my teeth, trying to stay afloat. There's no time for me to worry over the nickname if you're having this kind of reaction. The hold I had upon my head softened and my lips curled into a smile. That's right. She cared for me just as much as I cared for her. I tried to think about what I'd seen again, but a violent headache split me once more as a result. I quickly abandoned that, instead reached for the couch to rise back up. With Jasmine's help, I was hoisted back up to lay onto it. Oh, no. This state isn't good. Em and Ray aren't here, the eccentrics are still gone, and why do we call them the eccentrics? I mean, I get that E, I guess, but whatever. The infirmary isn't solved yet to bring you there. It's okay. I'll just get a bit of shut-eye, nothing to worry about. I reassured her with a bit of a smile. If Em and Ray come back, just wait for me to wake up, okay? If something happens, don't hesitate to fling a bucket of ice-cold water in my face either. On second thought, don't do that. It's gotta be really horrible. Is this finally gonna be the time that we come back to the spot that we initially started the game in that sort of in media res bit? Okay then, I'll go stand guard for them. If anything bad happens, I'll be right here with a bucket of molten lava. That's not much better. We laughed it out until my head hurt again. But at which point I decided to have that lie down while she left for the station below. I knew I could count on Jasmine. She was always reliable. She would be here for me for all time. Except she wasn't there anymore. I suddenly gasped myself awake. Yep. Alright. I think I know where this is, right? I think you might know where this is too. I think we finally come back to where we started here, which I'm very interested to see where this goes then. Huh. Alright, well, we will come back to this point that we had sort of cliffhangered off at the very beginning and see where this takes us. Until then, this has been Downstage Gaming. I've been your host, Josh, and I will catch you all next time.